So today I'm going to install the Eurosport rear X brace on the R32 3900 US edition. And the first thing you want to do is slide both of the front seats forward. You know, you're going to want all your room. And then once we do that, we'll fold the back seats down, go from there. It has a bunch of pictures here, but these are all on the MK4 chassis. But it says there it'll work on Golf 456, so fits a lot of cars. So once you put your front seats all the way forward, you can go in back and remove your rear deck lid. Mine's just on the one string setup. This one broke. So you just take your string off and it notches in here, and on this side just pull it towards you, and there you go. So we'll get this out of the way. Here's all the tools we'll need. I'll go through those in a minute. Then we'll fold the seats down and get on to step 3. And it says it should take an hour and a half. Don't know if we'll finish today. Probably gonna get dark. Yeah, we'll get it in definitely tomorrow. Really, I'm just gonna sort of skip a couple steps here and go to step 3, which would be the cargo net anchors, those little silver pieces. But I mentioned in my first video when I got the shipment of this that, you know, I ordered a blemished one and I couldn't find the blemish on it anywhere, like it's mint condition. And then just rubbing your hand over it, I ended up finding it. And it's right here. That little nick. That's $20 off. Just that little bit, $20 off. Sure, I'll do that. Throw a sticker over it, good to go. I don't know where this zip tie came from. It's like the longest zip tie I've ever seen. Hostage taking zip ties. So for the cargo hook removal, it's going to be the T30 torque bit. That's the one I have here. So once you get your tow hook removed there, you can just leave the screw in there behind it, because this is like on the spring. So you drop the 2 screws in there, let it close, you won't lose them. So for these little plastic pieces, just a very small or flathead screwdriver, a knife, whatever you got, pry at the top, just nice and gentle so you don't nick it up. So there you go, you got that one removed. So, you know, I'm still trying to figure out if I have to take these rear seats out or not on the MK5 platform. And there's one more torque bit in here on this side panel that I'm probably gonna have to take off to get all this off. So this one's gonna be the T25 torque bit for this upper screw in the side panel here. And I think I figured out how to get the rear seats out. So this plastic cover sits over here, you know, in the seats, rear seats. And I remove that, and I think I'm going to take this torque bit out and see what that does. It'll remove this black piece here, and then maybe the seats pop upwards. We'll give that a try. You have to take this black piece off with that torque bit, and you just lift it up, and then you can lift your seat out like that. And I'm guessing it'll slide over now. Boom, so there you go. And here's that black piece once you get your seat out. It's going to be the same thing on this side. You just lift up and then slide it towards you. And this really does give you much more room. Ah! To get this side of the rear seat out, the passenger side, you have to take the seatbelt hook off there. Unfortunately, I don't have that size, like my torque bits don't go up that big, and I have the M14 triple square socket for the suspension, but that's too big. So once you get the rear seats out, or not even out, you don't have to take them all the way out. You can just pull on this, and it'll come off at the bottom here. It's got that hole that goes around that hook, and that's really all you're gonna have to remove. I think I'm going to use a bungee cord or something to hold these back, and then like that's all you need, it's access to here. Changed how I had these, you know, pieces tied up. I had them tied in the middle, and then I switched them and tied them to those hooks in the back with a shoelace. So I sort of, you know, banged on the sheet metal a little bit, and I sort of have it marked out where it's got to go. So where I have it now, it sits, you know, a little higher than the sheet metal line there, but the nutsert still should be, you know, plenty of metal there. So after 2 trips to AutoZone, the first trip I ended up coming back with a star bit that I was going to try and didn't work. And the first guy there was just completely unhelpful with the star bits and stuff. And I went back, and the other guy, then he walks me down the aisle to this set, which came with the 6, 8, 10, and 12 millimeter 12-point or triple square sockets. So this is exactly what I need to take the seatbelt out to get this seat out so we don't damage that. I have the holes marked from yesterday. We're just going to double check them, get it set up, start drilling the holes. Now, I'm kind of doing these steps in the backwards order from the instructions, doing it my way, but I think this is how you take the rear seat out. This little clasp here, you know, folding the seat down, you can't really see this. So maybe on the MK4 you take the lower seat cushion out first, like in the instructions, but on the MK5 I think you're going to want to take these out, and then you should be able to remove the seat cushion, would be my guess. There's a Velcro piece there, don't worry about that. I'm just going to have to undo that and put the camera down. I want you to get this little Velcro tab for the seatbelt so you're good. And now we'll pull the lower seats out. Okay, so I have the rear seats entirely removed out of the R32. I'm going to go vacuum this out before I put them back in. One thing I know about my R32 is from the build sheet, first owner was in Madison, Wisconsin, opposite ends of the country. So I found a few things in the car that link it back to Madison, Wisconsin. From, you know, I found a receipt back here for something else, probably in one of my earlier videos for sure. And here there's a Menards receipt for a screw, 8x1, and the date is 2709. You know, this is an 08 car, so I guess where I was going with that whole receipt thing is I'm going to put a little hidden thing in the R32, just in case, you know, who knows what will happen to it. Stick this under the carpet or something, you know, who knows if it'll ever be found, but maybe. But back to the R32 build sheet from finding that receipt. So if you guys haven't seen the R32 build sheet before, here it is. For the 2008 R32, it's the limited run of only 5,000 US edition. And, you know, MSRP. I'll just go down this quickly. If you wanted to see anything, you can just pause it, you know. So a lot of VWs in the USA now are made in Mexico. Like if you go to the VW dealer, I'm pretty sure almost all of them come from Mexico. But on this one, it's 90% German. It was assembled in Wolfsburg. Zimbrick Volkswagen of Madison, Wisconsin. The port of entry was Houston, Texas. But for our government safety ratings, there's none. Interesting, right? Fuel mileage. In one of my very first videos, like I went to that meet and the guy saw the fuel mileage on the dash. And I was like, wow, you get really bad fuel mileage. And I explained that, like, you know, this is what it says. So there's the R32 build sheet. Just want to show you guys that. It says it takes an hour and a half to do this cross brace, but at this rate, we might be done in a month or two. So I switched the way I had the 3M sticky mounts. You know, I had them underneath a couple of the tabs, and I was going to try drilling like that, but, you know, it's not sitting flat. So right now, they're just sort of, if you see there, I have the 3M mount stuck on the side, and then this is just sort of resting on top of it. So I have the first hole drilled up to 1/4 inch. You know, you start with 1/8 inch, then 1/4 inch, then 3/8 to finish it. And here's the bolt that's included. So that would fit in the hole now. But you have to install this silver piece, which is the nutsert, and this is the nutsert tool. And this will compress down and give you something to screw into. So the hole has to be big enough for this to fit through, and then it'll compress itself, and hopefully it'll work and you'll have something to screw into. So it also makes it easier once you get your first hole up to 1/4 inch. That would allow you to put your bolt in, and then that sort of helps you hold it, line it up on that side. You probably do, I'm gonna do the top one on that side next. So I have my 6 bolts installed in the 1/4 inch holes. Of course I have to widen those up and then put the nut certs in. It has the tool with it, so, and it should look like this when it's done, instead of this silver part here. So I have all the nut certs inserted. 2 up there, the 1 down there, same on this side. So now what I'm going to do, you can do this a couple different ways. You could mount it over the carpet, or I'm going to trace around it. Well, I'm going to mount it up. I poked out the holes like with a knife, so I don't know if you probably can't see. So right now I have the X-brace held in with 2 bolts, not tightened, you know, just sitting in there. And what I'm doing is taking a marker and tracing the carpet around the bracket, and then we'll remove the X-brace, cut all those carpet pieces, put it back in, and bolt it up. So here's what the side looks like after I cut out the holes for the cross brace. So it'll mount to the bare metal instead of over the carpet like on this side. Now we're just going to cut out those holes, and then we can bolt it on. So I have the cross brace installed. I'm going to go vacuum out the rest of this, then we'll put the rear seats in and see if they fit and close. And as long as the rear seats close, then we know we did everything right. But, I mean, like you bang on it and you hear it through the cabin, it's pretty solid, it seems like. We'll see if it makes a difference in feel. Get these tools out of here so they don't rattle around. So that's it, that's the Eurosport X-brace install for the MK5 R32. Got it bolted up on both sides, got the holes cut around the carpet that I'm going to clean up a little nicer. Well, it definitely sounds different with the seats out here, the exhaust more. You know, it's different than just having them folded down. With having them completely out, you can really hear it. Now it quiets down. Just going to go vacuum it out and then we'll put those back in. Alright, so we have the cross brace installed. Now we just have to put the rear seats back in. We got the car all vacuumed out. Get rid of all the metal filings and any dirt and stuff that was there from before. We're also going to hide this back under the seat like I said. Just so if anyone ever takes the seat out again, they can look me up. And yeah. So we'll stick it right under there like that. You know, so anytime you take the rear seat out, you would see that. So then you have your 4 seat clips that go in. So this is the seat belt that you just have to replace, you know, the one you removed for the center seat belt. So we'll feed that back down through, install that, and be good to go. Alright, so I know it's dark now, but there it is, the finished product with all the carpet and stuff back around it. Pretty happy with the fitment of it. So from the inside, from the front, you can't tell at all. You know, it looks perfectly stock. And go around to the back, and you got the perfect Eurosport X-brace fitment. So there you go. Fits with the seat closed, doesn't take up any room. Pretty happy with that. So the rear X-brace is completely installed, and I don't think I made a video that night because it was dark. And you know, I'm just editing it together now, so I figured I'd give you a final look at it. We'll go fold the seats down. I can probably do it, you know, from here. Get the front view. So that's what it looks like from the front, you know, just your cross brace there. And we'll get out and look in from the rear. So that's what you have through the rear. You know, you have this tray here that just comes right out. So then you have your Eurosport X-brace. Pretty neat. I'm pretty happy with it. It seems to make a little bit of difference stiffening the car up around turns. Haven't done any autocrossing or anything crazy with it yet. But yeah, pretty good. That's the Eurosport X brace install. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you guys keep watching these videos, we'll keep dumping money into the R32, buying more parts, and upgrading more stuff.